Okay, so it's a kind of gloomy, rainy day in Galicia, and we are doing Purfling. And the question is to route or not to route, meaning since we're doing a cello, I have decided to route, and this is the machine that you use. It's basically just a Dremel and this setting, this gadget here. And I'm going to give you some tips if you do decide to route. The first one is going to be when you have your bit in here. I'll show you the bit. This one's from Cremona Tools in Italy. You can also get them from Dichtum in Germany. So you want to be careful when you're setting your bit that you set it to the proper depth. You don't want it too far like that, because the wider part will actually make, this is 1.5, which is what my Purfling is. And if you have it too deep, obviously it's going to make a deep trench. But the tip is, and this is very important, is to tighten this wheel, not just with your fingers, but you want to use a wrench. A better wrench would be better. But the thing is, you want this really tight, right? Because what can happen is, in the fog of routing, the bit can slip out of the chuck, and you'll just hear this so, and it will completely screw it up. So we get to the philosophical question of to route or not to route. And if you look at this plate, it's got just really wide grain, which is gonna look really cool. When I do patina, you have the opportunity for these like stripes, the varnish to suck into the winter grain. But this tree, I actually asked my tone wood seller, which is traditional tone wood in Austria, for the most freakiest cello tops he had. And you see here, you've got like this, just this weird stuff going on. But this tree had a pretty good life. You see these like it grew a lot during the winter. You see, especially here. So either this was a mild winter, or this tree was at a little bit lower altitude. Now I know that Herzog always cuts high altitude wood because it usually doesn't have a lot of resin in it. I mean, the point I'm making is that I choose to route because when you have a lot of like really wide summer grain and winter grain, it can be really difficult to cut by hand, where it's, for me, it's just better to route it. You get this nice, clean, perfect line, and also it's the difference of, say, 2 days or 15 minutes. Now, the corners, obviously, you want to do by hand. Thomas Kreutzer in Mittenwald showed me a way to do it with the machine, but that just makes me nervous. And also, I prefer to do the corners by hand, because there's a certain artistry to it, So after I've cleared, so basically I just routed this like 10 minutes ago, right? And now what I want to do is I've already cleared all these little fusel shaving things out, and what I'm going to do is change my glasses to these. And you want to use a really sharp pencil and you want to continue this line here, right? You're continuing the routed line into the corner. Just with a pencil and using your eye. And what I tend to do is I will draw one line here. So this is the inner part of the line. It's going to connect with this line. And then I tend to like to droop in a little bit. Whoosh. So right, those connect, right? Now I can go ahead and do the outer lines. You're just breathing. And ideally, the pencils, this is just kind of a map for your bee sting, you know? And the bee sting is the point where, so then you want to look at it and say, am I happy with that? And you know what? I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to do it again. So what I do is just and then I'll do it again. You can do this all day. And ideally, you just want this, the pencil line should follow the edge here, the curve of the edge. But you have some artistic freedom in that. So again, I'm gonna droop in, anticipating the point where they cut, where I'm going to cut. And ideally, your bee sting is going to point at the center of here. You see what I mean? It just has a kind of elegance to it but again, this is complete artistic license. So drooping in. Okay, so I like that much better. And I'm sort of like breathing while I'm doing it, sort of like, you know, almost like before you were about to pull the trigger of a 50 caliber rifle. You take a breath. Not that you have a 50 cal at your house. So you can see it's also not so elegant. And I'll probably redo that. I can come back to it. Sometimes when you're trying too hard, you know, that's also, this is artistic. And another thing I found is that the knife is better than the pencil. Like, actually, I'm happy with that already. Right? So let's roll with that. I got two knives. I got a double bevel knife, which needs to be sharpened. And then I got this is a right bevel knife, and you see this side is flat, and this side has a curve that I've made on the grinder. But the double bevel sometimes can be a little easier because it's more narrow. If you look at the two tips, this one is wider due to the lack. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So different knives for different tools. Okay, so this is very important. You want to start with. Hold on a second. Hold on, the camera's screwed up. Sorry about that. You want to start with the going across the grain, right? And the reason for that is that when you cut across the grain, it tends to flake. Like it's going to come really fast. I can demonstrate here, because this is a lot of high arching. This knife needs to be sharpened. See, when you're cutting across the winter grain. So this is kind of along the grain. You see the grain's going this way, and you want to start with cutting across the grain. It's very important, okay? Start with your inside line, always, right? And you want to cut past the pencil line. Can you see that? Pencil line stops here. You want to cut past it because you want to try to preserve this corner, this part here. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so here we go. Oh, another thing you can do is start down here first and just kind of trace it, right? Just trace it. It's like you're not putting a lot of pressure. You're just running the blade along the pencil line, right? And you can hear it hitting that winter grain, like cut, cut, cut. Nice and slow. Do it many, many, many times. And again, right, going past that. Oh, another thing. Soap is your friend. Go ahead and put some soap in there. Then I can start on the other side. Right? I'm not really cutting, I'm just sort of tracing the line, you know, like, and I'm going to sharpen this knife because the actual tip, it needs a better tip. So you can see like how wide this grain is. This is actually really difficult to do because it's so soft here. The summer grain is so soft. You can see this summer, whatever summer this was, this tree was like, yeah, I'm growing. Again, nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. Okay, now you can see like the piece itself is like, it wants to come out. Like Otto Mokkel says, man befreit nur was bereit zum Befreien ist, or something like that. What you free, you only free it up when it's ready to be free. You know, it will kind of tell you, this piece will kind of tell you. And again, nice and slow, you just keep going. You can check your depth, like you don't want to go all the way through, obviously. And that's another reason to leave your corners just a little bit thicker, you know, when you're making this flat part. So, slowly, 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 lenta, 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 langsam, langsam. And then, bam, you just pop it out with your knife. Right? So now, so again, to explain, the cross grain, you have the most chance of funky stuff happening, you know, and you want to preserve this little punkt here, this little point, this point. So I'm not starting here, I'm starting beyond it. Again, just trace that line. Tracing that line, slowly, slowly, slowly. And actually the corner, you see how the corner is like, I don't know if you can see that. That's because this is not perfectly flat. That's not cool. You don't want the corner to be like bending, you want it solid. So what I do is just put a piece of paper under it, right? So now it's not wackelig, you know, it's not moving. Because when you have really loose summer grain like this, it can just pop right off. So again, Pretend you're doing surgery on your own child. Right? Just, you're making really slow cuts. Confident, but slow. You don't even have to push. Again, put some soap. Soap is your friend. And now I can make this cut. Just tracing it. Tracing it. So, when you're going with the grain like this, sorry, need to do a few more cuts, and you're going to use a different tool. So it looks like this is actually not as wide as the channel here, but that's okay. I can widen it later. Nice and slow. And again, you're trying to protect that point. And another trick to use once I get this out, hold on, there's a tool that I need. This is the tool, your Purfling groove cleaner. You can order it anywhere. Yeah, again, it's more difficult. It's not just going to pop out with the knife. So you just slowly come in. See, remove a little, and this thing has to be sharp. Sharpening it is not easy, but I've got this pretty damn sharp. So I'm going to clean that. So now I've got that point. The thing to do right now is stop and add some hot glue on that. Because you want to take a break and you want to glue. Let's see, hold on. I'm going to cut this, and once I have that, then I'm going to add some glue here and add some glue here, like where I'm shading, because it's very easy to lose. You see it on antique instruments a lot, and you see makers like they'll replace that. Like it's very easy. It's very easy for that to happen, you know, for this to pop off. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take a break and make some glue and put the you know, reinforce that area with hot glue, and then, you know, so yeah, so I'll go ahead and draw the pencil line and cut the rest of everything. Add glue, and then I'll actually do the purfling itself. So I'm going to take a break, because you should do this also with a fresh brain, and maybe when it's not raining so much. Can you see outside? You can't really see outside. Okay, that's it for now.